Hey guys, it's Nick with you again, as you might say. I'm happy to see you first of all, and today I have a very important question for you. Which sport do you think is the most fun? Now, to give you an idea, although I did karate in the past and I even achieved certain heights in karate, my favorite sport was not karate. I was forced to do karate because my dad thought it was a good idea to learn how to self-defend yourself. However, I don't believe it's so useful. I have never had the opportunity to use my karate skills outside of competitions because I'm not a very conflictive person. However, my favorite sport was actually basketball. I craved and desired playing basketball. The first reason why I liked basketball was simply because I am tall. It may seem funny now, it's almost ludicrous, but I was very tall for my age. I was a teenager who was 13 years old and excessively tall for his age. So I thought, why not basketball? I mean, it's one of the only sports where height is actually relevant. And I did it. And when I started practicing it, when I began my small non-professional career, I realized that basketball is a team game, which is something not everyone comprehends. Basketball is a game which requires you to communicate with other people and learn how to listen to them. Basketball taught me one of the most important skills, which I had never learned from school. It taught me that you need to learn to not only talk and pass on a message in your life, but also learn how to receive information from somebody else and make the most out of it. That is what makes a good team, and that is what makes a good person who can work in a job environment. So, guys, what about you? What is your favorite sport?
Hello everyone, it is fantastic to see you. I am here to tell you about my favorite sport. My favorite sport is snowboarding. Why is snowboarding my favorite sport? Well, seeing that I come from Canada, we had to choose a sport that's great for the wintertime because I am from a place called Calgary, Alberta. Alberta is one of the most beautiful places in Canada, and if you were to Google image right now, Canada, you are going to see pictures where I'm from. Snowboarding is a great sport because there's a lot of skills and technique to it. You have to learn how to balance, as well as there's lots of different types of tricks that you can do, and it's something that you can practice for most of your life and still not be as good as you want to be. I'm going to explain to you what you need to snowboard. So for snowboarding, the first thing you need to get is a board, okay? And the board depends on your weight. If you are slim, the best type of board would be one that goes up to your nose. If you are a little bit heavier, you're going to want something that's taller, and that helps to balance and to control the weight so you don't tip over. Next thing you're going to need is a pair of bindings. These are the things that strap your feet onto your board. So unless you want to go surfing, you need to get a nice pair of bindings. Also, it's different from skis because with skis you just click in your boots and you're good to go. That brings me to the next point. The most important piece of gear that you need for snowboarding are your boots. Because if you cheap out and buy a pair of boots that are probably going to fall apart, you are going to destroy your feet. Boots are what takes up most of the impact when you land from doing jumps or tricks, and plus just riding in them all day, you want something comfortable. Next, you need some nice, warm, comfortable gear. You want something that's going to be water resistant, that keeps you dry, and it doesn't have to be some super brand name like Gucci. Just buy something that's warm. Next thing you need, most important, helmet. You need to protect yourself. Okay, so what can you tell me about your favorite sport?
Hello everyone, it's Jonathan. I hope you're having a good break, if you want to call it a break. But I've been asked to talk to you about which sport I think is the most fun. This is a hard question for me to answer because I'm not a huge fan of sport. I know what you're thinking. Most people in England are obsessed with football and soccer, and that's the problem. In England, you either love football or you don't like it at all. You can't be somebody who is in the middle, who's like, yeah, I kind of like watching it sometimes. You either love it or you don't like it at all, which means I ended up falling into the second camp, and I don't really like football. However, the one sport that I do like watching and used to participate in is rugby. It's much more brutal than soccer and football. You actually have real contact. Unlike in football, where if somebody looks at you in a disgusting way, you can fall over and pretend that you're injured. In rugby, there's some real injuries that happen, and that makes it more interesting to watch for me. I also used to play a little bit of rugby. I mean, I've got some very broad shoulders, so that helped quite a lot. I didn't say I was good at playing rugby, but it is the kind of sport that I probably participated in the most. And it's the one that I enjoy watching the most as well. Because most of the time, sports aren't fun for me to watch or to be part of. I know a lot of people here love basketball, but it doesn't do it for me. Probably because there isn't a huge basketball scene in England, and I don't know the rules because of that. Seems stupid, right? They're probably very simple rules. But anyway, what sport do you think is the most fun? Let us know.
Hello, how are you? I'm doing great, and I hope that you are well as well. Eddie here to talk to you about sports. Specifically, I'm going to talk to you about what sport I think is the most fun. Now, for me, this is a very interesting question because I love sports. I like football, I like squash, and like everybody else in my country of New Zealand, I love rugby. But in particular, I think that cricket is the most fun sport to watch and to play. Now, I know that most people in Russia don't know much about cricket, but it is a very popular sport in much of the world. Really, it's very simple to play. There are complicated rules, but at a basic level, one team throws a big red ball towards a player of the other team who needs to hit that ball as hard as he can with a big wooden stick and then run as fast as he can around a field. There are two types of cricket. The shortest type of cricket lasts about 7 hours or 1 day to play, and the longest type of cricket is a test match which takes 5 days to play. Now these are the best because if you are like me and you love to watch and play cricket, you get to watch and play cricket for 5 whole days, which is amazing. Cricket is originally from England, like a lot of games, but now it is spread all around the world, and it's particularly popular in the Commonwealth, so English-speaking countries like South Africa, Australia and New Zealand, as well as countries in South Asia like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. When I was young, I used to play cricket as much as I could, which wasn't that often, because to play cricket, you need dry grass and warm sunny weather. And my town in New Zealand is very, very rainy, so most days I wasn't able to play cricket. But when you can play cricket, it's amazing. You can play with your friends every day, and on Saturday I would play games for my school and for my region. Another great thing is that there is a Cricket World Cup every 4 years. In the last 2 tournaments, New Zealand has finished second. We got to the final in both tournaments and lost both times, once to Australia and once to England. One of them was last year, and I'm still very, very upset about it. But overall, I still love cricket. So what do you think is the best sport to play?
Hi, it's Esther here. So, the most fun sport for me was volleyball. We played the sport with my brothers and sisters. It was a very good sport. It was fun, it was exciting, it was very intriguing. The only tricky part about this sport is you must not drop the ball. And another rule is you must not cross the lines. The great thing about this sport is it does not discriminate at all. Everybody can play this sport. Whether you doubt yourself, whether you think that you can't do it, you only have to watch and learn. It's not something that you need a lot of experience or a lot of training. You just watch and learn. And that's how most of us did. We just watched and learned. In this way, we learned how to communicate with each other, not just in the field, not just in the match, but I believe that volleyball creates great relationship between people, especially friends. So, start playing, get involved, be active.